YouTube. Welcome to my channel. So here we go. Here again, let's talk about what's going on. Right, so we already had from this morning, from the 4-hour time frame. After this huge drop, we already had confirmed for bearish momentum, right? But what we did was we already had our sells in. Okay, so I'll show you where our original sells were. My original sells were right before 10 here. 9:45, you can see, boom. This was a little pre-drop right before the 4-hour candle for 10. Okay, so my actual first entries were directly here. Boom. You guys, most of you probably saw it on my Instagram live story. So you saw all my entries that went right here. Boom, boom, boom. I was in the live webinar with the students. Now, we anticipated a continuation of momentum. So then we added more sells here. And then our stop loss was above this wick range here. So today was around 5 pips. It was above here. And then of course, ended up being like around 10 there. And then what happened? Well, price just started ranging all the rest of the day, playing with our emotions. So we know it's NFP, right? We know it's NFP. We know that price doesn't have to keep doing anything. But what we do know is that we are already confirmed for bearish momentum, right? We're already confirmed for bearish momentum, and our TPs are in this whole wick range area right here, okay? So price doesn't have to move right now, especially being the bank holiday. We've got a little bit less volatility. So what do? We placed our stop loss. We stayed on the chart for a while. And then we started suffering a lot of drawdown, right? Once it got up here, a little bit of drawdown, boom, boom. And then it was just playing with our minds. So the thing that is you have to keep in mind is the daily candle opening, because the next 4 hours is the daily candle. So at this time here is the new daily candle, right? The new daily candle. And as you can see, all it was is just once the daily closed, then it was even more confirmation for bearish momentum. Just off, look how strong the daily is. Why wouldn't we continue in momentum? We're in between zones. This was the next zone. Although we kind of hit it, we kind of tapped it. I would anticipate price dropping even lower into this whole wick range area. But the whole idea is that we kept our confirm. And what did we do? We held our stop loss. And then as soon as the new daily candle was about to open, I moved my stop loss literally 10 pips more per position. The reason why I did that is because every time the daily candle opens, there's high spread. So if I did not do that, we would have got hit. We would have got stopped out immediately. So I moved it up, and then we are suffering quite a bit of drawdown. I was in quite a bit of drawdown because, of course, it launched every position almost 10 pips negative automatically. But I knew that. And then I just allowed the chart to do its thing. And then, of course, what did we have? I ended up drawing like a trend line, and we are rejecting. So usually once you have enough wicks, you can kind of drop some trend lines. Help you out a little bit. And let's check out what the hour did. Look what the hour did. So we have a cross, right? Boom, a pullback. This was the huge pullback. So our sells were all here. And then we suffered that drawdown, and then we added more sells. And then boom, 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 boom. It just was setting up. It was setting up finally to drop. About dang time. Now, especially if we close below this support, it's just going to keep going down to our next. It's going to the next zone. So this is how we're following momentum in between zones. So earlier, this would have been like that most recent support, this whole area. I'll make it a little bit bigger. I usually don't like them too big, but if you make your zones a little too big, then it's like you feel like you're in a zone for the rest of your life. So you don't want to make them too big, but you want them to be proportionate based off wicks, right? And so this whole zone I have because of this whole area. It doesn't have to be this large. But this is that next zone where I anticipate price wanting to reach. So like I said, we did reach the bottom of this wick kind of here. But I would anticipate price continuing to go in momentum. Now we have the break. Now we have a pullback. Right? Now we got a lower high here. Right? What are we making? Lower highs, lower highs. Lower lows and lower highs. Right? This becomes a lower low here. Now I'm in 10. Now I'm in around 10 pips plus a position, a little bit less with this pullback. But I'm holding for a swing today. I'm holding for a swing, just following that momentum, trying to practice on my swings better. But we're well over our account growth. This is 30% account growth just from this drop right here. And we just waited. This is why I think it's important to place a stop loss. People that don't place stop losses, what, you think you're freaking Mr. Market Maker? Because you're not. This, I placed a stop loss because I know that this is where I'm willing to take a loss. I'm willing to take a loss here. That's what it was. I was willing to take a loss here. And this allowed me to contain those emotions a little bit better while price was consolidating. It consolidated for 6 hours. 6 hours. That's incredible. Not play with your emotions all day. So you just place a stop loss and a take profit and you walk away. And that's what I did most of the time. I just came back and I checked to see what she was doing every so often. Right? So I'll stay on the chat. I'm going to stay on this. You can definitely see also, of course, right? So if I delete everything, I'm going to delete everything. And I'm just off the daily. Just off the daily. This is why wick fills and 4-hour momentums are so important. Because see how the daily rejected? So we already knew the daily had rejected this, so we can already anticipate new momentum. And then we're in between zones. Because we haven't really reached this whole area yet. This is realistically where price would want to go next, in this whole wick range area. So you're in between. And then look, if you want to get even more technical, we draw up a little box here, because this is a resistance support turn resistance now. You see how we broke support? Look, we closed below. We closed below, telling us that we broke structure. Now we want to follow momentum. So look, we had a daily wick fill, falling momentum. And we haven't reached the next zone yet. And we broke structure. And let's pull up our little handy dandy currency meter. Ta-da! Look how strong the Japanese yen is for the US dollar. It just solidified that we wanted to go into bearish momentum. So now, of course, pullbacks, anything can happen. Play stop loss and profit, do whatever. But since we broke this whole structure, and we haven't really reached our next zone yet, you just sit and forget about it now. Now you have your stop loss in TP. Maybe play stop loss in profit. I might go through and adjust my stop losses in profit. I just don't want to put stop losses in profit right now only because of NFP, so I don't want it just to hit my stop loss. Although profit is profit, but I waited 6 hours of consolidation just for price to drop. And I usually close all my entries at 10 pips. Everything is usually always closed at 10 pips. But today, I want to hold it. I want to hold it till the next zone. That's really what I want to do, is I want to hold it until the next zone. So, very simply though, that is how, we were able to manage, our emotions a little bit better today. We traded as a group. We traded as a group for 2 hours. We were just doing the live trade. And we were going through all these emotions. Finally, after an hour of it not breaking, and it was not showing signs of breaking any further, that's when we finally said, let's just get off and let's talk about it in the chat. That's it. That's it. Because what are you going to do? Sit in front of your computer all day long? No. Place a stop loss, place your take profit, and let price do its thing. That's it. That's all you can do. You're not moving the market. You can't move the market. All you can do is take what the market gives you day in and day out. That's it. So, as I said, now that we had broken structure, it's, pretty good sign. So I don't want to just talk your ears off as you guys are watching this. But But I kind of want to see what else she's going to do. That's already a 5 pip difference here. From the bottom of this up to here. Already 5 pip difference. So because we just broke this structure, this was a fresh structure to break. Typically, price is always, once we break a structure, we go and retest. It's just very common. It's a very common thing. This was that whole structure that price broke. Boom, we broke structure. So here's potential just retests now. Making lower highs. Giving room maybe to pull the EMA closer to actual price. Following currency meter. Currency meter only solidifies and helps us. So it looked like she got a little bit less strength. The dollar, I don't remember if it was at solid red or if it had one or not. But it's looking good for us. As of now, no matter what, we're winning our trade. No matter what, because we're already in profit. We've been in profit now. Earlier today, we caught like 7 pips profit almost. You see, we were in 7 pips, and all of our original entries were right here. Every single one of them. So it was already a phenomenal scalp. And it was right before the 10 o'clock push. So it was already kind of letting us know that we were going to go down pre-push. So that's when we got in. And there we go. Just making lower highs here. Boom, boom. We do want to reach our next zone. We broke structure, making lower highs. So these are where you guys can start practicing, getting entries in. Like, make entries on the pullbacks. That's what we did here. We made the pullback. We made an entry on the pullback. Here's the pullback following 4-hour momentum. This was this morning. And you can see the time at the very bottom. See, it says 9:50, 9:55, and then 10. So we got in right before 9:45, right before the new 15-minute candle going down. So let's keep watching and see what's going on. So we have broken structure so far. Like, we've broken the structure so far, and we only have 7 minutes left. So all that's really telling me is that we have so much momentum continuing to go bearish. Still going bearish. And let's talk about the 4-hour. Look what the 4-hour did. The 4-hour made a pullback here. It just made a pullback. So we entered most of our sells here, and then more here, and then it kept pulling back, and then, of course, now we're actually in our profits after writing out a little bit of drawdown. So price just needed more time before it was ready. It just needed a little bit more time. So let's do some more little drops here. Clone. Actually made like a 2-1 confirm after rejecting resistance so strong. Remember yesterday we caught, this huge push, and then it just rejected resistance. And then now it made like a 2-1 confirm off resistance, right? Lower low, lower high, boom. Another lower. This becomes a lower low. And it broke structure. Not above this, not below this one, but it broke this structure. So it's a new lower low, made a new lower high. More lower highs. I don't want to stay on this video too long. The only reason why is because I'm liking keeping them real short lately. I like to keep them short so you guys can just kind of get in there and learn, and it's not me just kind of rambling on because I love to talk. So I don't want to just ramble, your hearts away. But I want you guys to be getting this. All of you that are watching the YouTube, I want you to be getting this. I want you to understand the importance of psychology, the importance of a trading plan. Right? Like, you guys need trading plans. I've been getting hit up every day. People are telling me, I never had a trading plan until I watched one of your YouTube videos. Now I saw the importance of a trading plan. Well, hello. Number one, I'm so glad you guys are actually seeing the value of why you need a trading plan. But beyond that, you don't go to work without a plan, right? Like you're not going to go to, like if you start work at 10 o'clock in the morning, why are you going to show up at 8:30? It doesn't make sense. You show up when you show up and you do your job. Same thing with trading. If it's part of my plan to show up 30 minutes prior to a 4-hour candle, then that's part of my plan. Here's my plan. Actually, my plan with my group. It's everyone's plan. And always remember, do not break your plan. And we're still going down, 4-9. See? Just making lower highs now. Wanting to reach our next zone. But we can consolidate longer. Like we broke structure. It can take a little while until we reach this. It doesn't have to happen right now. It is NFP week. There's less moving the market right now because of the holiday. So we have here in the United States, of course, we have 4th of July tomorrow. But they closed down early, all the federal institutions. So it slows down the market. Right? So on our plan, trade if you can clearly see which direction momentum is going. Okay. We already knew that we can clearly see which direction momentum was going since this morning. It just needed more time for a pullback, right? But then look at the daily, because I put more entries. Just off the daily, you can see, look how strong it is. Why would we be going up? So you follow the higher time frame momentum. Now we're going into this wick range. This is where profit target is. This is where pip target is, guys. This is why I tell you guys, this is how I can accurately set my pips for my take profit. It's because I know where the next zone is. So as soon as it starts getting into range of those next zones, it starts closing out my profit. Because that's how price action works. Right? Look at the 15-minute. It just wants to go. We just want to go. We broke structure. Now we have a 15-minute wick to fill. We want to reach our next zone. So what do we have? We clearly knew what direction price was going. Can you identify structure? Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. I mean, of course, we had consolidation. This morning we could. Lower low, lower high. Lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows, this is where we took a sell. Lower lows and then lower highs. We took our sells, so we did short based off of momentum this morning, following our trading plan. This was it. What's next? Currency meters in favor of our trend. That's our bonus. Currency meter is in favor. Let's hope that the Japanese yen gets more strength. Yes, look how it's full now. It's full. That's huge news. That means that we're going to drop. When? Not sure, but it's pretty soon. Because we want to reach the next zone. You have a clear mindset. Always trade if you got a clear mindset. If you got a cloudy mindset, it's very hard to trade. Yesterday, my mindset was just very cloudy. I was doing a lot of things on YouTube. I was doing other business stuff. And I hopped on to trade with this squad, and I was having trouble. My mindset wasn't there. You plotted out your zones. Very important. Did we plot out our zones? Yes. And we were in between zones. So with this type of situation, we really want price to break. We need it to break here. Because technically we tapped. This is where all the fundamentals come in. So if I draw like just a line, see how it's pretty close? We pretty much are in this whole range that we tapped. I really want this to close low though. I don't really like it to be closing, making signs of rejection. Not because I'm afraid of too much. It's just going to consolidate more. So it just becomes on how much patience do you have. Do you just move your stop loss in profit now and walk away? Or do you leave your stop loss where you can actually lose in order to leave room for price to range? And see, like Alan already closed his with 10 pips. See, Alan's good. Good job, Alan. He held out his drawdown all day with me. All day we held out our drawdown. Well, it was actually in profit, then drawdown, and then in profit, then drawdown, then in profit, then drawdown. And then I started stacking more and more and more. Still doesn't look bad. We might come up and it might just leave wicks. It might just leave wicks. And just giving time for the EMA to catch up. It might even pull up and then reject, and it's just gaining liquidity to keep going down. Remember, the moves never have to happen right now. In our case, it took 6 hours all the way, right? Since legit 10 o'clock until 4. Like, that's how long it took just for this. A lot of that has to do with NFP and the fact that we had a holiday. But price doesn't have to move right now. But we are still confirmed on which direction trend was going from this morning. Trader on high probability. We know what high probability is because we know how to trade around the higher time frames. High probability. Here you go, daily. Here's the daily. The daily finished off so strong. Why would we go up? High probability. High probability. Look here. Huge momentum. This was huge liquidity. But then huge. Huge. Remember all the YouTube videos from last week? We talked about this. Huge. Close above resistance. In between zones. Look, above resistance. In between zones. Liquidity. Launch. Touch the zone. Touch the zone again. Rejected. Here's the daily. Falling momentum. So we rejected the daily so strong. And then we are zone. In between zones. Whoa, whoa. What are you doing? Huh? Yeah, but why are you doing this? Oh, I get it. Bit of a pullback now. Potential, just more liquidity. Ooh! I gotta go charge my iPad pretty soon. I mean my laptop iPad. Let me go in. Might as well go in my office. But anyways, I don't want to be on the call for too long. Don't want to be on it for too long, but this was our trade. And you'll see in the thumbnail our entries. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have already seen my entries before this video has even uploaded. But anyways, this is Forex, guys. This is how we trade, how we interpret the market, following our trading plans. We gained a little less. We wrote out this much consolidation. It's not like we can't write out anymore. One thing that I don't like is the fact that we already came down to the very bottom of this wick. So it could have been something where it's just gaining more liquidity. We might even reject and go back up. Because knowing Asian is usually always bullish, and the Nikkei market will be open soon. It's 4. So now it's like the pre-push. So we're basically getting in time for the pre-push because it opens at 5.
So the pre-push is like technically happening now, where it's going to pre-set up for what's going to happen during the Nikkei Open. And then an hour after that, we have the next 4-hour candle. So if we are going to keep closing really low, it's a very good sign that we're going to keep going down. But we have an hour and 54 minutes left until the new daily candle. I mean, the new 4-hour candle, which is 1 hour after Nikkei Open. So just because of the fact that Asian is usually always bullish, it is NFP week, and we just had a last drop. This could be maybe a last little drop to get some premium price before going the opposite direction. Why not? Maybe the daily's coming down to gain some premium price to go up a little bit. I don't know. I don't predict where the market's going to go. I just trade where it's going to go. I like to know where it's going to go pretty much now, not where it's going to go in a week from now. So wherever it goes later on does not matter. I've already caught my percentage. I have already caught my trade. It's just a matter on how much longer you can ride out. It's just a matter on how much longer you can ride out drawdown. I mean, not drawdown, but how much longer you can just ride the trade out. How long do you want to stay in? How much longer do you want to wait? That's what it all boils down to. I don't know how much longer I want to wait. Do I want to take only 5 pips per position? No. Will I? Absolutely. Do I want more? Obviously. Since I was already in so much more profit even just by being down here. Almost 6 pips away from where it's at. 5 pips, excuse me. 5 pips is huge, especially when you have 15 positions open. It's not 5 pips anymore, it's a lot more. So, this is a pre-push. This is the pre-push to Nikkei. So, because we're so bearish, we've already broken structure, we're probably just preparing to make new lower highs. Might consolidate some more, make more lower highs, lower lows, until it's ready to hit the next zone. Look how strong the hour was. The hour closed so strong before. If anything, it's just gaining liquidity right now. That's just market structure. We broke support. Huge. We tapped the next zone area, like this whole wick range, like we're in it. Right? We're in it. But this is probably liquidity to continue going down into bearish momentum, which would leave us off with this whole wick range being, man, it is so noisy today, huh? I just hear all kinds of weird noises outside. This would potentially be the next zone that price wants to go to, just based off price action, the daily. It'll even kind of start more up here. But that's why I'm saying it kind of feels like we've already hit it. So because we've already hit it, price can do whatever it wants. Because it basically went into the zone where it's previously been. So price, it hypothetically could already have gotten premium price here. It's looking like just more lower highs. More lower high to keep going bearish. Right? More lower highs to keep going bearish. Especially the 15 minute. So it's important to know what the 15 minute ends up closing like. We really want to monitor the 15 minute right now. See how she closes. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be on this. So I can just be on it longer. I don't want the YouTube videos to get too long. I don't want you guys to just be sitting, staring for too long. I want you guys just to soak up the knowledge and then go and apply it. But since I don't usually trade a pre-push and I'm already in, I mean, I do trade the pre-pushes, but I haven't traded at this time for a while. But this is just that pre-push, that 4 o'clock push. It's the pre-push to the Nikkei Open, so 1 hour before Nikkei. There's so many ways of trading an open. So all opens will have a pre-push and then, of course, the push. So either it'll have a pre-push going bearish and then a pullback and then it'll go continuing into momentum, or we might have a pre-push bearish, then we might hit a support and then we might have a push bullish. I mean, just always keep in mind that that's usually how markets work, is when you have an open, you might have a pre-push bullish, hit a resistance and then go bearish. Or you might go bearish, continue going bearish, or bullish, continue going bullish. So now it appears to be it's making like higher highs and higher lows here on the 5 minute, right? But this can just be fresh zones that go and retap. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for because I'm about ready to start placing stop losses in profit only because it's NFP week. I wrote out drawdown earlier, especially when the daily candle opened and it gapped me 10 pips. So I was already negative like 150 pips at that time, like just for spread. So it was already very ugly to look at, being negative that much, but just staying confident in the trend. I was even so confident that I moved my stop loss another 10 pips. That's only for the spread. I didn't want to get knocked out on spread. Because all it would have done was jumped me up here, closed all my orders down in negative, and then it would have just kept going. So that would have been stupid. I never like to have orders open by the time the new daily opens because of that. So it's just food for thought. But today, we are testing our patience, writing out drawdown. And just writing it out, believing in the higher time frame. So let's see. Like I said, I really don't know how long I want to stay. Because, I mean, if I'm going to stay on longer, it would be like another 45 minutes. But I'm just really not so sure I want to stay on another 45 minutes just talking about charts. I've been looking at them all day today. I don't know how some people like sit there and want to trade all day long. Like it's so exhausting. I'm so over because I'm already winning right now. I'm over it. Like I just want to move on, pay my bills, and freaking just move on with my life. Staring at charts too long will make you go nuts. I just, for the sake of momentum, I'm just wanting to see this, price drop. I just want to see it drop a little bit more for you guys. And so this is the structure we broke. So this can just be some more price also coming back just for retest, making another lower high to continue down going bearish. Because you see, we're at 2 minutes until this closes. It's pretty weak. It's not strong. It looks like it's just making a pullback. Let's monitor the 1 minute for a little bit, and let's just see what the 1 minute's doing. I mean, it doesn't really look like anything. What I was going to be looking for is some lower lows and lower highs, just to possibly confirm the trend direction. But instead, I'm seeing potential that. So this is where you have to be careful of not just hawking those really low time frames and just psyching yourself out, because no matter what, the higher time frame always wins. Just like this. So you can definitely see we already had the momentum. And from the top of that wick to the bottom of this wick, it already went 13 pips. So how much more do you want? You know what I'm saying? How much more do you want for chasing momentum than that? You got to be honest with yourself. Not getting so stuck on the lower time frames. Some people text me and they're like, I never look at the higher time frame. Why? I don't know how anybody can successfully only trade a 5 minute or a 15 minute or a 1 minute. It just wouldn't make sense. At least to me, it wouldn't make sense. The 1 minute, maybe if you're only trading on major support and resistances, but even then you'd have to use the higher time frame to know where those are at. So it just would be inaccurate. Like nobody gets on and just says, oh, what's the 1 minute doing? Oh yeah, yep, bearish. Yep, that's bearish. Like nobody does that. Nobody does that. Everybody only does it on the 15 minute. I mean on the 4 hour, the daily, the 1 hour, the higher time frames, getting an idea for structure and momentum. I would rather this close bullish than bearish. The reason being is if it's closing bearish, it might be a sign of rejection. Especially closing no wick, it could be a sign of rejection where it wants to go up, where it's just not ready to go down any further. If it closed bullish, then that would be another lower high to go bearish. So I don't necessarily like it when price closes bearish like that. But we're already in the trade. I'm not looking to put more entries. So it's just a matter on how long I want to hold for, as we've been talking about. I don't see this as a wick to go fill. It might go up and retest, but maybe it's just leaving room for more for a drop. But now that I moved this zone up from earlier, these are things that you got to start telling yourself that, okay, when am I done? Because we did already touch that zone. So you see, if you look left, you can see by looking left, these wicks, we've already gone into it. So we've already tapped the zone. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to keep going because we've already been to where price was at. That's the thing. That's the thing. And see, new higher low, higher highs, higher lows here. NFP week. That's it. That's all I got to say. It's just NFP week. Price is doing strange things. I stepped away for a second. I had to go get some water. Not usually the best looking signs. Because if we were going to break, we would have already broken. Usually. So now I just hold more patience, honestly. That's all I can really do. Is just hold more patience, see what plays out, especially if we just leave wicks. If we just leave wicks, that's good for bearish because it's just rejecting to go down. The 1 hour, this is a night. That was quite a bit like of a gnarly pullback, huh? Just grabbing. You see where it broke here? You can clearly see where it broke, and it literally came back and just touched it. Because that was the most recent structure that we broke. And then, as I was saying, price typically retests structure a lot. This is price making that potential lower high for that pre-push, right? This is where your patience game just comes in. So now I'm just going to keep waiting. Well, I guess I'm just going to stay on this a little longer and see if we come more down into this range to where my take profit is at. My take profit is actually even lower than this. I got a little greedy with it. I put it really low. But I'm starting to see now that I don't know how far down. I'm already at, this is 10 pips almost a position, 9 pips a position. So That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 orders. It's not bad. Now it's just the psychology part. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm going to be honest. What I kind of want to do is wait for this 15-minute time frame. Because I want to see how she closes. Because if it's at 4:30, usually at that 30-minute mark, you'll see like a significant push. In our case, I would hope that if we were to close very small bullish like this with this huge rejection, that could be a sign of bing. I really want price to come and retest this zone again. Even though that's only, when you guys think about it, look at it, it's only 3 pips, 4 pips away. So what do? You just hold out, hoping just to catch another 3, 4 pips? Or do you just leave stop loss and take profit and walk away and just who cares? The greed. The greedy mind of a trader. I like this though. I like this potential sign of rejection here. I really do. Let's see if the Japanese yen. And the Japanese yen gained a little bit more strength, but the US dollar also gained a little bit of strength. So, I mean, the Japanese yen is still taking over. It's still much stronger. So this is all a matter of just trusting the higher time frame. That's all this is. It's just trusting the higher time frame and allowing the chart to do its thing. Oh, that actually, when you think about it, looks like it's making more higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low potential. But the 4 hours still tell me bearish, but we've already touched this next zone. So these are the thought processes. Is that even like a phrase? Can you even say it that way? I guess this is just the thought process of what goes through a typical trader's mind. Okay, I'm at 9 pips, 10 pips of position. Do I just close, walk away? I already went past my mark and I didn't close. That's because of greed. I anticipated price going lower. I did anticipate price going much lower based off the daily in this whole area. But it's NFP. Take what you can get. Take what you can get. I was just talking to a trader right now on Instagram, Collins, and he took 15 pips of position. He's smart. He already got out. He was at 6.5. So this is where his entries are like more up here. Around like that 6.5 area. So he closed in this whole area here off the drop, which was smart. Just take the money and run. 15 pips each is huge. That's a swing. That's not a scalp. That's a swing. 15 pips, you kidding me? So I don't like this. I'm just going to be honest. I really don't. I'm contemplating just closing down, just taking the money. It's good money. It's good percentage. But the other part of me just says, you know what? I've tested my patience all day. I kind of want to test it some more. So I guess you guys who are going to be viewing get to see exactly what happens. Not liking that. Tell you that much. Really not liking that. I don't know why I don't just... open this up so we can just kind of look at it better. It really doesn't matter like what time frame you look at because I mean it does, but I mean if you're looking at the hour, the 5 minute, it's all going to move the exact same way. It's not like you know. What I'm hoping is that this is just making those higher highs and higher lows just for a slight pullback, and we're just maybe gaining some more liquidity before dropping. That's really what I'm hoping and registering for. Let's change this one to the 1 hour so you can just see what the 1 hour is doing. Because we retested the zone. And, right, the currency meter is still... Oh! See, not good. Not good. Not like it's not good, like, oh my god, that's just going to change everything, but it's still not good. Gain a little bit more here. They're just kind of neck and neck. It's almost like anything goes. This is where it becomes like, okay, the momentum happened, right? Like this, the momentum happened and it's NFP. Like I was at 13 pips each. That's my fault for not closing. Straight up. It's just my fault for not closing. I get so excited because you see it drop so much, like, wow, it's so much money. But then it makes a huge pullback like this. You're like, okay, it's going to keep going down. And then it went down. But then what did it do? Right? So, like I always tell people, entering is one thing. Knowing when to close is a whole nother ballgame. Anybody can swing. But once you make contact with the ball, how fast are you going to run through those bases? Because if you just jog, you're not going to make it. So anybody can enter. But really, your patience will be tested when you know how to close and when to close. That's why I have a 10 pip rule. Today, I just got greedy. So I broke my plan. And what do we know about our plans? Don't break your plan. And part of our plan is what? Do not be greedy. Profit is profit. I was being greedy. I said I wanted 30 pips a position, not 10. And I didn't close at 13. So we can just keep watching just a little bit longer. We got 3 minutes left on, I guess, pretty much any candle. But 3 minutes left on this one. And on the 15, 2 minutes left, yes. Oh, it's kind of cool. If I move it on the right side, it moves on the left too. See, I don't like that. I like it more to close down, not up. Maybe it's just gaining some liquidity. See, it seems like just because it's around the Nikkei open time, right? Asian market just opened an hour ago. Now it seems to be we have a real nice flood of money. I'm hoping that this was not just to grab premium price to go the opposite way because we are making higher highs and higher lows now. We're not making lower lows and lower highs. But this is what I'm hoping is just a 14 EMA pullback for a drop. But what we really need is for these candles to close bearish. We don't want them to close so small. We want them strong. We want it strong. Especially this one. We want this weak, right? So if this is strong, this becomes weak. And that's what we want. We want this 15-minute to close really weak. Otherwise, it might just continue going bull. See, the 1 minute's even almost making higher highs and higher lows too. So there's a lot of mixed emotions right now. But we still got a little bit of time. And the currency meter, they're just kind of neck and neck. I would have rather it just been solid red for US dollar, of course. Like if I was a market maker or however these things are manipulated. So we need price to close small. Really small. I mean, really strong on the 5 minute. I don't know if that was strong enough. Just being honest. I don't know if it was strong enough. I'm hoping it ended up just being a nice lower high in the 15-minute, because this would have been the first lower high after breaking structure. But if we continue to just reject, like if we continue rejecting, even throwing wicks and just rejecting, then price is potentially making a strong support right here. But this is what I was hoping for, another lower high, and that's what it did. And this is that pre-push. Here is the pre-push to Asian. Not Asian, but Nikki. Nikki. I think they pronounce it Nikkei, to be honest. I think it's Nikkei. And there we have it. There we have it. This is how we trade forex, guys. This is how we trade forex. So, this video is really long. This video is really long, but I'm technically doing it live with you. So a lot of people ask me for it live. So, I mean, I'm technically doing it live. So that's kind of fun. But we want this to keep closing low. What we don't want is we don't want price to just be grabbing premium to go up, right? Because if it drops this far in the very beginning, that might be a sign of, okay, we might reject to go up, right? But if the momentum is still bearish, then that's the direction we want to head. And I'm hoping, because otherwise I want to just start closing down my entry so I can secure the bag and not have to worry about any more psychological issues, honestly, is that this is what I'm not wanting to see. I'm not wanting to just see it rejecting off like some sort of trend line, right? Just kind of rejecting a zone. But this is just fresh. So the higher time frames are always the time frames that are going to win. So if you can stick to your bias, even there, no, it's only 3 pips. It's not the most. 1 pip would have covered spread. So that would have been a bad example. But even entering on these lower highs, being higher time frame, I mean, I'm still so confident that we're just going to keep going down. I don't really see a rejection unless price really starts to show me major rejection, which would be kind of like what she's doing because we need her to close real low. If she were to start to close bullish at all, then she would be going up indefinitely because she'd be just rejecting the low side. That would be like a for sure, okay, I'm just closing everything down, whatever. But as of right now, I do just still see a lower high. Keep refreshing currency meter just because. Maybe there'll be a switch. Nope, the US dollar gained even more strength. Now it's kind of a toss-up, really. Maybe it'll have a huge drop and then it'll just reject and launch. Like if it were to have a huge drop, I might just close everything down because it might just be rejecting to go favor the US dollar after. I don't know. Basing trades solely on currency meter is not what you should be doing. The currency meter just helps with confluence. Right? Like CAD Jappy is tanking right now. All you got to do is type in CAD Jappy and you'll see it's dropping. I don't even have to look at it. Just by currency meter, see? Just by currency meter. Look, and look what CAD Jappy is doing. Lower lows and lower highs. Look, lower high here. Perfect. And it left us off with this nice little doji looking guy. Just a perfect sign of rejection to keep dropping down to the low side. It was perfect. Right? Was just perfect. And look what our girl USD Jappy's doing. Look what our girl's doing. All right, I'm going to start closing. Because it's looking like we're grabbing a little bit more premium price. And then, price is going to just start doing whatever the heck she wants. So that's not something I'm interested in sticking around for. Unless I just start moving my stop loss in profit. But this is what I don't want, is I don't want too much rejection. This can be good, though, if it's this strong. Absolutely could be good. I'm hoping this is not just more premium price. But you see how the currency meter works though, right? With that CAD Jappy. Look at it right here. Just lower high, boom. Broke support, made a lower high, boom. That must mean we're probably 4-hour momentum too. Nope, actually not. Just made another lower high. Really no kind of signs of momentum here. But that based off market structure on the 15-minute time frame, we have lower lows and lower highs. Oh, UJ. Yes. And that's how you trade, guys. That's how you trade. See you guys on the next one.